Harry's over now, because she was coming.
I was.
I'll text you.
I thought he was gonna, he didn't tell me already.
I know he's gonna do it.
Did he?
I believe I run over.
It is since we call this meeting to order, our regular monthly meeting. Wayne, will you lead us in prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, dear God, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for your many blessings, dear Lord. We praise you, dear God, for the mercy you have upon us. We ask you, dear God, if you would, you give us the wisdom and knowledge that we need to make decisions for the people of this community. I pray, dear God, that everything that we do here would honor and glorify you. And we ask you, dear God, to lead us through it. In Jesus' sweet name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, approved minutes for August 17th. Have a motion, I need a second.
Second.
All vote. Approve of financials. Need a second. All vote. Appoint records custodian.
This is what we're still years ago, I'm not several, 2008, 2009, I'm not sure. I was appointed as the records custodian when we were having some issues with some concerned citizens going to individual county offices and demanding documents on the spot. It's kind of where I think everybody's following the rules now and behaving, and after meeting with one of the former assistant attorney generals, it was their recommendation that the county clerk be appointed in the records custodian, so that was why I actually put it on there. And Jean for this evening, she doesn't have any problem with it, according to what she told me, is that correct, Sharon?
So we need a motion on that.
Motion. Second.
All vote. Next, approve, deny Malden Jenkins audit contract.
Right, these are the guys who got us kind of back in shape and reconciled and tied loose ends up back from years ago. And I'd like to continue with them again this year. They're out of Macon.
Is this something we're required to get bids on, or can we?
I'm not recommending getting bids because these are the people who got us to where we're at. In the schools I've attended, they said be very careful when the lowest bid in something like this is not necessarily the best. And these are highly recommended, and they do a number of big counties besides us. And our accountants highly recommended them, and based on this contract, they felt like it was a very good price too. So,
Same as last year, or?
no, it's a lot cheaper than last year. The whole point is now they know what they're dealing with. They came in last year, we didn't have a contract, and it cost us dearly.
They done by the hour.
Yeah. So, but they do Athens, Augusta, Barrow County, Cherokee, Clayton, Colquitt, Forsyth, Gwinnett, a lot of big counties, Macon, Maconville, McIntosh, Floyd, Toombs. So, I just kind of hate to jump ship in the middle of this.
I mean, but still, I mean, I agree with you, I think we need to too, but what is the legalities? Are we supposed to do bids, or is it just up to us, or what?
We hadn't seen one forever, till about 2 years ago. All right, 2 years.
You don't have to?
I offer a motion that,
Go ahead.
I offer a motion that we keep, Malden and Jenkins.
Second.
All vote.
Just for the record, for the legality of the contract, I have not seen or reviewed a copy, but I'm sending it all out, follow the terms.
Right. Has nobody signed it yet? Obviously.
Next was to approve or deny GMAS contract, and what I understand is they still negotiating with them. So we just gonna skip over this till we get more information.
Or do we, would table it, and, would it be that, because it had come in higher than what it had been being, would it, do we think that we need to get bids from other, because the other counties use different people? We might ought to,
Mr. Dave can explain it, because they're involved with the,
What we would like, ladies and gentlemen, is to have a joint meeting with you and bring anybody that we have selected to present a contract to that meeting so that you can understand at the same time that we do exactly what these folks are going to provide, how they're going to go about doing it. There was concern last time we invited you that it wasn't an advertised meeting and you couldn't all attend. So this is the easiest way that I can think of to get around that. So, you know, sometime between now and your next board meeting in October, if you can let us know a date, then we will have something to work towards.
Down the story, and I offer that we take this until all of us get together and to, go through all, everyone that's involved.
I think Wayne, I mean, I agree with that, but I still think Wayne brought up a valid point that we need to, look at other sources. Are y'all willing to look at other sources for?
We've been trying, okay? We have been trying.
so y'all get us a meeting set up, there's somebody.
I make a motion that we table it this time with all the stuff that's been said, plus we get a meeting set up to where we can meet with them and the people that they have, sent out the bids to or whatever, and to meet with us.
All vote. Discuss approved policy for board members appointed by the Board of Commissioners to serve on other boards. Mr. Gary, you want to explain that?
Well, what we did is we found out that there was a policy before that said all boards was only allowed to serve a 2-year term with 2 years off. So we need to amend that because I don't know why it was ever voted. I mean, I don't really, this was a while back, but it was never enforced really. So what we felt like we needed to do is kind of take another look at that, maybe change the policy or amend it to 3-year terms for all boards. It's simplified, it would only change it on a couple of boards. With the ability to serve 2 consecutive terms. The other one said you could serve but a 2-year term and you had to lay off, had to be out 2 years. And then, so what we'd like to do is amend that where you could serve 2 consecutive 3-year terms with a couple of stipulations regarding you could appoint somebody that's already served on the board to fill out the term if somebody has to step down. And any current members that have served more than 3 years would be subject to be replaced. So if that it's kind of sounds like what you think we ought to do, and we'll work on the policy and vote on it.
Okay, so we're gonna say that all boards would be 3 years.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
The ability to serve 2 terms if appointed or left.
Which would give them 6 years, so you wouldn't, you know, somebody's good and really wants to be on there, they have a pretty long period, and then they would set out for 3 years before they could be reappointed again.
Well, I think that's a good idea, and then, but then on the rec department, when we took and voted, in our last monthly meeting, that we should take and have it to where the swim team, the soccer team, everybody should have a representative.
I agree with that.
That, where that it's not all football or all baseball, because if the coaches is on the board and they coach in baseball and their kids play baseball, they might not like to cheer, or they might not like to play soccer, they might not like to swim. And I think that we need to increase that board. I think it's 5, and I think that we need to put 2 more members on that board to make it 7. And then that way we can add some more that's doing in different areas. Not turn around and put everybody that's playing baseball on the board or coaching baseball, that they be on the board. And I didn't know that there was some 5-year terms. I appreciate looking it up and bringing it to our attention and let's try to get it straight. Are y'all in agreement?
I'm in agreement with that. That's what I tried to say before, when we appoint.
Okay.
So we need to make a motion to appoint.
I'd like to put it on the table now that we do make a motion that we put 2 more board members on the rec department, and for us to go ahead and advertise it, and then let them, even these that we did appoint, should we have them to reapply, or can we bring theirs forward?
I just do this, appoint your 2 new ones now, and then start, because you're gonna have to look at 2 as far as they're staggering their terms, but you don't want everybody.
Yeah, that's what, they say, if we just appointed, how many we appointed, 2 last?
2.
2
But one's not gonna be.
eligible.
Just make a motion to appoint 2 and start running the paper, and then by that time, you would appoint maybe 2 after it runs in the paper, how long they run it. Just sure, and then at that point, we should have something, maybe we should have something put together as far as, the changing the policies, as far as the election, and you can as far as, and then when all these initial boards were first set up, where we said, you know, 2 had to stay on X amount of years more than the first term because you don't hear it for that. It would be without all.
So you made that motion. You made that motion already? Anybody second?
We need a
I
second.
second.
All vote. We need to vote on what he's got there.
Well, we'll do a policy, we'll vote on
Then
it
we'll
next
vote on
time.
that. All right.
Make sure everybody is clarified, everybody knows exactly what we're voting on.
Next is approve or deny the following ENRs. Robert McCullum, Roy Wiggins, II, Jeff Ball. Y'all have all this in your report. Dave can probably explain it if you need it. Some was paid in other counties already.
This is self-explanatory, right? Oh, okay.
You just need to take a second.
Take them separate.
Yes, sir.
The first one will be Robert Pierce McCullough. I need a motion to approve this.
All for motion to approve, since it was duplicated.
Need a second? All vote. The next one will be Roy Fred Wiggly, the second.
I'll make the motion.
Need a second?
One second.
All vote. Next one is Jeff M. and Janice DeVault.
Make a motion.
I second.
All vote. Next, Attorney Carl Powell updated on the
Economic effects, where we are is, the last meeting, I told y'all about the meeting between the sheriff and the assistant district attorney and myself, and I was going forward, for their requests. I did receive back from the sheriff's department and, they were not able to serve the owners of the LLC, which are the owners of the hotel. However, I have not received service back from Fulton County, which is at, in that county, I'm trying to serve the registered agent who is the attorney for the corporation. So we're still waiting to hear back from the Fulton County full-time. Until then, they cannot move forward. I was just giving you an update. We're going to vote on anything.
Or we just waiting on further information?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, Commissioner Brad Cruz discuss hunting deer for dogs in Jefferson County.
Sometime back, we all heard of this, and we actually talked about it in a meeting, and we all agreed to it. However, I think some of y'all were like me, that we understood it was for WMA, and it is for private land also, for deer hunting in Jeff Davis County. There's been a lot of people complaining about this, and I feel like we need to not allow dog hunting in Jeff Davis County on private land. If the state wants to do it, that's fine, but
Is the law 1,000 acres or 5,000 acres?
1,000.
1,000.
Here's what I was looking at, is getting some revenue in this county. I mean, if you able to open up these WMAs like after Christmas, or even if we open up the whole county, or sections of it, they also do sections, they don't have to open up the whole county. But first of all, you got to get a petition signed saying that you got to have about 66% for instead against it, if you read the package. And you got to have a petition, you got to have a town hall meeting to see. But if they'd open up the last 2 weeks of the deer season, or after Christmas, look how much revenue it would bring in our county. Most especially if they'd open it up on these WMAs where we don't get nothing.
I mean, I'm all for WMAs, I'm not for private land.
What I say is, if you was farming like I was, you'd be tickled if they killed me anyway. If they was eating up your crop, they was all right.
I've been through that too, but I just think it's gonna cause a lot of controversy between.
I mean, they open up just sections of county, not the whole county, just sections of it. I mean, that's left entirely up to the people, because you got to run this through town hall meetings, you got to have petitions signed.
It's about a year process.
Yes, or over, or longer.
But are they expensing it? I mean,
Well, we have to do a survey.
You have to do a survey, but they'll do a survey to DNR. See, that sportsman, if you read your paper, they'll put up $3,000 for a survey. If you read it. And then they'll have to have town hall meetings. Then they'll have to have petitions. And then if you've got enough people against it, it's not gonna pass nowhere.
So what happens to this landowner that's here, one wants, one don't. These dogs
If he gets
don't get
outvoted, if he gets outvoted, it's just like the rest of us. It's just like when we get outvoted up in. It's the same thing. Only thing I'm saying is that when we coming up short, I'm looking for revenue. I even begged DNR, Ronnie Haskins, which works on this. He rents 14,000 acres. I don't know what county he rents it out of. He lives over in Barron County. He's got people paying $1,500 just to ride four-wheelers and ATVs. And I begged DNR to open up Flat Tub Rocky Helmet and Buller Creek and have a four-wheel ride like they've already done in Telfair. And the first weekend or second weekend, they had like 300 or 400 in it, $25. Look how much money that is.
I just don't think sure that the money's gonna be think controversy is gonna be greater than the benefit.
I mean, that'll be left entirely up to the people.
The whole county would vote on it? When you say,
Yes,
The ones-
well, what they'll do, they'll have town hall meetings, and they'll have petitions. And you sign up against or for it. And if you ain't got I think it's 66% for it, they're not gonna do it. I mean, they got so many more ways of stopping their dogs today. They got the shot collars, they got GPS on their dogs. And look here, the permits they give out for farmers to kill deer at night, when they ain't fit to eat, and farmers kill 30 and 40 at the time, around the field, they need to do away with some of those. If you was farming in my shoes, you'd love to see it. Of course, it's left up to the people now, to me.
I don't, and
Call me, ain't for it, so I guess.
yeah, I've had a lot of calls, and I've talked to a few out in my area. The farmers out there don't care much about it, but I've dog hunted in Brantley County. And their people lease a lot of land, and they'll be 40 or 50 in this club. And they do not kill very many deer. They more deer get away than they kill. I mean, and their land is lotted off in squares to where they can cut them off. Here, we don't have cutoffs. I mean, it ain't gonna be an easy, I mean, they're not gonna kill a lot of deer, I can tell you, not this county, not the way the roads. It's illegal to shoot from dark to start with, and they ain't no woods that's got roads cut through them, so you're gonna have people shooting in the roads. I mean, to me,
It's gonna be, I just.
It's gonna be a
think
danger.
dangerous. In this county, it's not set up to run deer dogs. Now, the WMA down there is a different story.
it's lotted.
It's a lot, it's gotten roads for it. But most of the places around here, especially the larger landowners, who ain't gonna allow it at all.
And see, that'll be left up to the landowners also. I mean, your large landowners, that'll be their, right to give you, if you rent it, lease it, they have to, okay, that you get that, buy that tag to hunt them deer.
Well, all I'm saying is, I won't go over there and say I don't.
what are you putting in the motion?
I'm putting in a motion to stop it right now.
I'll say. Even if it's up to people.
If we motion in second, will it stop? I mean, is this vote gonna hold tonight? Or do we have to do what y'all say, town hall meetings? Or we just voting just to say, to show I didn't want it? I mean, if we vote this out tonight, is it gonna stop the deer hunting with dogs tonight? That's the question.
I'm not 100% sure.
All right, when was this first brought up, Sherry? What was the motion?
January, February?
Well, they had a town hall meeting down at Town Club, and it was packed out. And the DNR wanted to put it on.
But you brought a motion before this board.
Right.
And I'm trying to figure out how the motion read so we can see exactly what
It was
y'all.
a
We voted on
It was
that.
a letter of support that we sent to
DNR.
It was just saying that Jeff Davis County supports.
Did you support it? Did the motion say it was only on WMA land?
No, it
Did say
didn't.
was on- No, it did not. Then you can vote to rescind, you have a couple options here, you can vote to rescind that motion. And then vote no, and it just says on WMA, or you can vote to rescind and vote not to the period.
What about WMA?
No, I'm all for
Y'all
that.
do.
I think it's very feasible down there, and it's, there's not houses ever 15 foot from somebody getting shot.
No.
Definitely would agree for it to be there.
The letter says countywide.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, could we do it WMA?
My
We can
understanding, you
rescind.
have that option, is my understanding, but I haven't read all this package.
What they call
I said it was my understanding when this was first talked about, that it was an option, you could do it on WMA or county or road.
And that's,
But I may, yeah, maybe
that's
wrong.
what I
may
thought
have
when we
misunderstood
voted that
it.
night for WMA.
I may
Well, I
have
did too.
misunderstood it.
And I mean, WMA joined.
And I signed it, so, you know, shame on me for
The
not
little
reading
letter says
it.
countywide.
I didn't see the letter, so I don't know. But I'm saying, you could, what your motion could say is, if you want to do the motion that says just on WMA, if possible, then we'll do it that way. But if not, if we have to do it both, then you do your motion, I don't want to do it. It's gotta be all or nothing,
Right.
or if it's just WMA, you do that.
Let's do that.
All right.
WMA only.
You gonna call a motion?
So we need to rescind this, bro?
Yeah, that's because you did it.
I mean, the
Because it was
rescind.
accused, rescind out, then we'll do it.
Okay.
Start over.
So I make a motion that we rescind this letter that we all signed, that down at the very bottom, it says countywide, after it talks about WMA to start with.
All vote?
Now you make the motion that you will, you know.
Now I make a
If
motion.
y'all want to vote just to do it WMA.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, you know, WMA is state, I mean, all the people pay taxes on that, and I think if the state wants to do that, then that's, I think there's a place to do it there. I don't think there's a place to do it countywide, which is gonna, what was gonna happen. So I
They
make,
do it countywide everywhere now, they do sections. Like in Pearson, Axon County, you just got sections of Axon County.
Well, it's a different program countywide, different problem, isn't it?
Yeah,
right, just wrote countywide, which means.
but they do survey it,
County.
see, that's right.
Now, Jerry, you abstaining or you opposing?
I just ain't gonna vote for it. I'll vote for it going to WMA, but I'd also look for it to go countywide, but, I mean, that's okay if it's just WMA. so.
Now, I will make another motion that we would approve it for the WMA only in Timberlake County.
I second.
All vote?
You voted for it?
Next, approved resolution to open up a new bank account for the CCG tax steel road.
Steve went down and collected a big old check.
Piece of paper. They would give you a real check.
They went down a real check because they knew better.
Was you ever told that?
I got it. No, I had to go in and pose.
Steve should be posing with this, not me.
Exactly.
Steve, I can
Steve?
get up here.
This is your picture, not mine.
How about you?
I told you.
I'm gonna get one for you too. All right?
If they gave you the real check, y'all would have seen me tonight.
Come on now. You don't have to, call Preston.
I'd have been gone.
No, he's back there.
That's good for the house still.
Yeah. We've been trying to get that for, my understanding, a couple, 3 years, I guess.
Yeah, well, last time we got enough, just do a half mile
But they reapply.
We'll go
or,
as far as, and then we also got another check, which Ilya can speak to this one.
This is the employment incentive application that is going towards the rail spur. This was a joint application between the Development Authority and the county. So actually, Steve, if you wouldn't mind, don't leave me up here by myself.
I'm doing a good job posing.
And like I already said, when Gary called me this morning and said he had this, I was like, check the checking account, see if you put it there.
I wish I knew it was yours.
It's not the checking account yet.
Get it.
Just endorse it and cash it.
All right, gentlemen. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna get 2 or 3 of them.
that's a
okay?
good one. I can't even pay checks in the mail.
Right. Thank you. No, we appreciate the county's efforts on this.
I'll make the motion to accept the resolution. Open new bank account for the CDBG Atlas Steel Road project.
All vote?
The other one, gotta go in Development Authority.
No, sir, you've already got a checking account open for that when we opened it back in December. It's just waiting for a deposit. So we're okay on that one. The county's already got an account for it.
Next, the administrator report.
Wayne, you want to talk a little bit about the fire protection agreement, and Charles is here too as well, between us and Appleton County?
Yeah. It's been an ongoing thing for about 2 months now with us trying to get a mutual aid agreement signed. We had a verbal one, but once it went down there the first time, it didn't pass in the county board meeting like ours. And then we went down, Charles and I did, and talked to Lee and told him that we already had the mutual agreement and that we'd like to, we need signatures because there are a lot of people in the area that has went to attend and asked him, do we need to come to the meeting? And he said no, that he thought that he could take care of it and that he understood more about it now. So then it went on and Charles called me and told me we hadn't got anything, so I called Lee back and he said that he had talked to him and some of the volunteers were not up to par about wanting to do it. And so Charles talked back with him and I did that we already doing it, but this time we gotta have it in writing where we can send it in. And so he came down last Thursday night to Graham and had a meeting with the fire department, and he called me Friday and said that he had it all signed, and that's the letter that we passed around a while ago. All of us had to sign it. And then Charles went down Monday. He was gone Friday to a meeting and got it and brought it to us where we could sign it tonight. And now Charles is gonna take it and push forward and get it sent in. Plus, we got the ramp put in on the Uvalde Highway at Hallsburg area. The land's been bought. They're supposed to go in there and cut the timber off from it. And then Greg Morris, I talked to him last week and he said he was still looking for some money and was hoping that he could come up with something where we could build a station. And, you got anything, Charles?
Well, just the agreement we're signing is an automatic aid. We have a mutual aid. This is an automatic aid agreement. The difference is, if you have a mutual aid agreement and we have a fire in that area, the county fire chief and their fire chief, we have to request each other. Under the automatic aid agreement, it's done at the 911 center. As soon as the call comes in, both centers dispatch both departments. So that's an automatic aid agreement. Automatic aid agreements are the only ones that are recognized by ISO. Mutual aid, they don't care nothing about mutual aid. You have 100,000 of them, they don't care. The automatic aid agreements are the ones that are important. And we probably will do some more of these as time goes on. Probably we'll do one with Bacon County when we get the station out there in the Blackburn district with them, because they've got some areas that are they need some help with. And we're gonna be in fairly good shape with that station. We may miss a house or two, but not many. But they've got some areas down there they will need some help with, and we probably will sign one with them to help them. It'll help us, but it'll help them as well. This automatic aid agreement we're signing, it will go to ISO as soon as I can get it there. Now, it will not. It'll take a little while to go through the motions before it actually is identified to the insurance companies, and so some people are going to still suffer a little bit longer. But eventually this will all play out and it'll be a good thing for our folks as well as the Graham folks.
I know you don't know how fast they're moving or whatever, but only usually we're talking probably 3 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months. So
4 to 6 months.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I got one other thing. We, out at Satilla, the well had been tore up forever at the park. And A&A Pump donated his time, and the suppliers donated a new pump for it. And they got water out there now, the people that walks and to do anything. Plus, we didn't even have it for the election station and all, but it didn't cost the county a penny. A&A Pump done it free, and the supplier supplied the new pumps and he had some other stuff, and so they got it going.
When I first came to work here 5 months ago, I was told that my wife would have to leave up here, and she's leaving. Her last day is this Friday. So,
You fired.
Ain't nothing about that.
put me in a bad spot. Okay. I'm done. Public comments. please.
Public comments.
I have one. Back to the, policy for the board appointments. Are y'all gonna keep the, part where the, appointed members by the board of commissioners shall not miss no more than 3 meetings in a year, excused or not excused?
That was on the original, and I don't think that would change unless somebody wants to change it.
We had, when I was on the rec board, I brought it to the commissioner's attention 7 months after this policy was put in place. Nothing ever got done. That lady was voted off last month.
Well, like I said, that initial policy was never enforced.
It was only enforced against Ron. Yeah. This policy was adopted in November 2011. I was voted off the board June 2012.
We'll try to apply this. This would be equally to everybody fairly, I think.
I like the idea, I do.
Yes.
The only other suggestion that I had made to the commissioners, I personally called each one and asked them to do what they're doing tonight, last month, but I think that the application needs to be updated to ask if you serve on another board representing the county, so that you will know, because according to the policy, they can serve on one other board. And then the only other thing that I requested to be added to the application was what sport their child represented. Because I felt like being on a recreation board, and this may be something you board members want to look at, is that whoever's on that board, whoever you appoint, should be involved with their kids out there. You know, you shouldn't have somebody on that board that's not active out there, that maybe doesn't have a child involved in the program. And if they got a grandchild, that might be an exception, but if they don't have any kids or grandkids out there, then, you know, I think it would be more feasible to have somebody that does. Because they'll be out there, they'll be amongst their sport or sports, because some kids play multiple sports out there. But I commend you board members for making the change, because it's been asked for in the past and it got voted down. So thank you.
Any more public comments? You got something, Chuck?
Yes, I do. I'm here to see why we got to the ditch. You know, we talked about it back in May, ditch back in my house. I went around and got several petitions to sign on this ditch. It's not just a benefit for me, but it's also a benefit for all these people.
Let me explain to them, because they don't, back when Mr. Earl was here, back when it was wet weather, on the Douglas Highway, he lives on one side, and the lady that works at the Miles Funeral Home, and their yards that stood in water. There's a ditch that's been there. Over the years, it's filled in, grown up. On the other side, on Miss Brenda's place, where the ditch had ran, somebody has, over the years, has dug a pond and put the dirt there, and all the water is backing up on them. I talked to Earl, and then I had talked with Eddie, and they supposedly had a work order to open the ditches up, but they've never done it. But we was waiting on the state. They gonna clean their part out.
Which they have
Under
already
the
done.
highway. They have already done that.
What address are we talking about, sir?
337 Douglas Highway.
337?
Yes, sir.
I think, and let me say, because I live out there, and I know it is a problem, but having done dirt work in the past, and Jerry does it now, is this county property or is it personal property?
It's personal property, but the county has dug the ditch on one side years ago, and they agreed to sign an easement to get that water. It's gonna drain not only theirs, but there's several people right in there that it's gonna help drain. That's the same ditch, it goes all the way through across.
But it gets fed a couple of different ways, it goes behind my house, and then it comes again from the trailer park and crosses the road and joins together in there, and then crosses the belt.
That, where you're talking about, it crosses the road right there at McDaniel Street. Now, the water we're talking about, it goes in behind and goes into Beasley.
Yeah, I know, but both of them goes to the same place. Okay.
But it's been a problem, they dealt with, Mr. Ray and Wanda on it for the last several years. And they kept promising, nothing ever happened. Last year, of course, it was a wet year. When he called me out there, and, at that time, Brad had just come in, and I tried to call him to meet me over, but he was out of town that day, because he's out of town on Tuesday and Thursday. Wasn't a big deal, I went and looked at it, and I didn't see what would be a problem, because if they would sign an easement, because it's gonna drain all that property out.
The only problem though is this potentially a wetlands process, because there's a natural flow of water there, and we've looked at the law, Robert did, and it's kind of iffy to go in there.
Well, that's where you would have to bring,
Because if we get in there and disturb that, we could get hit with a huge fine,
Right.
and that's the
it would have to be checked.
I also talked to EPA, they said, state of Georgia dug, they would have no problem going in there digging, because if they dug there, they got contracts saying that it was not wetlands.
Well, they dug only on their own right of way on the state road, because that's the state road out there.
Right.
And they didn't go any beyond that. We're talking about going off on private property, disturbing.
It would have to be looked at, I mean, you would have to get EPA, but with the problem that it's causing with the houses, I'd like to see what EPA talking about.
If we can legally do it.
Because, well, I know right behind it, I think when Dr. Sherman dug that pond across from you, and
That's right.
he got down in it, and that is part of the problem,
Part of
because
the
his
problem.
dam runs into the, run of that creek, and he had to.
It runs from that side of the road.
And then on the old Douglas Road, we go through that creek. The one at Azurst Mills, we dig from it to the county line. But I think you got to go through EPA to get
I
permission.
think we have to make sure, because the fines could be huge.
Well, that's what I'm saying, we need to look into it, and that's what he's wanting, and the other people that's on that petition, that they want us to check in and see if we can.
Really don't hardly know where to carry it.
It's really, that's my impression, that it's not stopped up from crossing under the road, and, I mean, it's just a low place there.
It was like.
Well, what I did find out that Odenwood had dug a ditch, back Indian Avenue back up there, and it dumped all that water on top of them. So now they're having the same problem from where his field is, the water's all running down on them. Now, with that ditch not being cleaned out, see, the water's standing now in their yards. So then when it gets to where me and Brenda's at, see, with that pond dug there, it was dug on the creek line. So it's banking the water up. Now, when you get where Dr. Schumann's house is, he dug right on the creek line. So the creeks are having to go around the ponds, not through them. Also, where his house is, I was told that's a county road. Well, there never was a drain pipe put in there.
The first thing,
What are you talking about, where, the house, Dr. Schuman's built, you talking about there wasn't a drain pipe put in
There
there?
was a drain pipe put in there.
that we need to notify the people that can tell us whether or not we can, even before we say we will. We need to know if it's legally, and if we can, and can we do it. Then when we get that point, yes, y'all can do it, or what our stipulations is, then we bring it back to vote on it to see, because we don't want to dig it and throw water on somebody else, just like he said, that somebody had dug one and throws it on the rest, so we need to make sure that we know what we do.
This ditch runs under that, what, First Road?
Yeah, First Road,
Then runs in behind and crosses. the
behind
road.
Second Road, and then crosses.
And then crosses under the Bell Road.
Well, see, Mrs. Montgomery, you know, she bought that place there, and there's a pond that was dug there probably 100 years ago. Just like
All the
the
copies
one
of
that
the
was right.
But it's something, we have to get with EPA and we will see what we can do and then we can come back and they can tell us what we can or, what we can't.
Yeah, maybe some of you guys can go out there and take a look too.
I've built that and I've walked from Miss Brenda's all the way through, and all the way through to that First Road. The ditch is just, it's just a deal.
Has it always, how long have you lived there? Because I've
I've
only
been
been
there
there a
about
couple years.
22 years.
Is it always wet, or is it just, I mean, this year we had a lot of water.
No, it's always wet.
It's always wet.
If the ditch was cleaned out, we wouldn't have that problem. In the winter months, we have to have our septic tanks pumped because there's so much water lays there that the liquids from the septic tank flow up and flow into the creek. And that's a hazard to health right there. I mean, I'd hate to see some kids end up with cholera because of them playing in these creeks.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of kids that do play back in the creeks.
that's where they are.
But also there's, when we initially started it back in May, when it see,
I can't remember, I didn't.
I think it was back in May.
All I did was mention it to the road superintendent and they went with it.
And I know they had a lot of changes there. I think they changed supervisors, and I think at one time Eddie he came out 3 times. And then I had Alan to come out and look to see what kind of equipment to use to clean it out. And then the next thing I know, when me and you spoke, everything had come to a screeching halt.
I'm very leery about going on private property for anybody.
That's why I got people.
And part of the
sign off on
problem
it.
is, once you go and dig a ditch for one, now you've got to dig a ditch for another, and it's endless.
Well, like I said, it's not just for me.
I
It's
mean-
for the whole development. It's a housing development there.
I mean, people can get their own backhoe and do their own digging.
Absolutely. I
It's
believe
that
that.
important. Anyway, that's what I have to do, is make sure that that the county's doing something that benefits the county. So,
What do benefit the people of Jeff Davis County.
Yes.
okay.
Well, we need, I mean, we definitely need to see, like Wayne said, first thing we need to do is see if we can even disturb it at all. And to do that, we're gonna have to get the EPA to come evaluate it. And after that point, then we can.
Yeah, because Ilya can tell you, we got to edge some wetlands, it was $18,000 was the fine.
It could have been it could have been twice that.
Yeah, he did a lot of
And it was less than a quarter of an acre.
entertaining to get that.
It started at 45, didn't it?
It started at 36, and they cut it in half for us. But yeah, as soon as you said wetlands, I cringed.
That's where you got to be very careful.
Yeah,
But
you
on the
can't
back,
do
on the
that.
back of Dr. Schuman's, I can say, yes, it is probably wetlands in there. Back in there behind the trailer park, yes, it is probably wetlands. They're gonna say, yes, that's wetlands. Where I'm at, it dries up in the summertime, and then only in the winter months, we have this problem when we start getting our rains. We don't have no problem during the summer months, it's just in the winter months.
Well, even if
If
the
the ditch is
county,
cleaned out, then, as the law says, both parties have to keep it clean. But it's just never been cleaned out. There's trees that I bet is over 30 years old, that's
No, they
in
did.
these trees.
They ditches already up.
even if the county dug the ditches or created ditches, of which may have resulted in creating additional wetlands, the state or the federal government can lay claim to that water. So that's what Gary's gonna have to find out is, are they even permitted
On
to?
that- on
The
the-
state of Georgia actually owns the water.
That's
Probably owns the
exactly
creek.
right.
No, we got to go ahead and keep it up.
But I think we have a consensus that we will, as a group, we will see what we can do or if we can do anything.
Well, I'm down here just to ask you for my help, just to please me. I'm asking for all the petitions that have been signed for every one of us.
Yes.
And I'm down here to speak on their behalf. And I could have gotten more to sign, but they were either at work and wasn't at home at the time.
Yes.
So I ended up with probably about 14 signatures. And that's just on the side of the Douglas Highway, which would be on the right-hand side toward Douglas. Now, Mrs. Peebles didn't sign it because she's pretty ill. I think she's in the hospital, so.
Yes.
But she and I was one that was hoping that it was going to get done.
She actually called me, yes.
Did she?
Yes, sir. So you'll.
Yeah, we'll find out what we can do. The first thing we have to do is the EPA and see if we can do it. I'd like for you guys to go out there and look and see and, you know.
I think Brad looks at it every day.
Yeah, I see it pretty well.
Matter of fact, it thinks we're up in New York too.
Any more public comments?
If not, we adjourn this meeting.
Yeah, well, I said, oh, you know, by name, we already joined. For a change, just said, oh, I need to be on the outside. Anyway, appreciate you.
We sign this form, Terry?
Thank you very
You look tired. What's the matter? Gonna be all right?
Did you sign it? And you do? Hey, you got to sign it too.
Yeah, I think that don't play the
Yes, yes, they did too. We just had these.
Every winter.
You get you on camera, baby? You still getting me? What are you still getting me for?
That's your leverage right there. If it prevents emergency services.
I'm gonna tell your mom what you said. I know. She said I was the prettiest man on camera.